Hi, and welcome to another video of the targeted individual. Now, I'm doing this video as I do my other videos again, is to do updates in terms of my targeting, what's been done to me as a sort of like a journal, right? A video journal of my targeting and what they've been doing to me. So, for the past I would say 2 months, I've been dealing with physical injury. My back, in particular, because I have a herniated disc and it's pinching on the nerve. So I had a herniated disc with a pinched nerve. And that kept me immobile. I can barely walk. Went to the emergency room. Um, they gave me muscle relaxers, ibuprofen, and that wasn't enough because I was still not able to, move. Even after taking the medication, I was still having tightness in the back, a lot of pain, couldn't bend down. So I went to see a new doctor. Okay, and the first day I went to this new doctor, things was okay. Light targeting from the other people that was there to see the doctors, but never. I was never targeted by the staff there. So, I then I had to go to my second appointment to see the same doctor, and the staff that works there started targeting me. So I'm like, okay, I mean, I knew it was going to happen anyway because this is what they do. If you go someplace new, if you catch them off guard, you will probably get light targeting. But if you go back there a second, third time, fourth time, you're going to be targeted by pretty much the staff that works there and the people who are waiting there to see whoever. So, uh, you know, like I said, so I had to. So this new facility, with the doctor that I went to see, they have a rehab center there, and so I've been doing rehab on my back, and then 2 weeks ago, I was reaching for my earpiece, and I felt this sharp pain in my right buttocks, and it was a tremendous amount of pain. I immediately I started limping, um, because even though I had to walk very slowly and I was using the cane, and I had to go to meet the kids' mom outside so I can take them home, and then I come back to my house. So on our way there, I mean, I wasn't driving because I was in a lot of pain. On our way there, I just told her, "You gotta take me to the emergency room because I can barely move. I'm in a lot of pain. My hands were tingling, and it felt like it was going numb. My right toe started tingling, and it felt like that was going get numb. So I went to the emergency room. I went to Downstate Hospital here in Brooklyn. Go to the emergency room. We pulled up at the hospital. I couldn't get out, couldn't move. So she went and got a nurse, came back with a wheelchair and wheeled me in. I was in a lot of pain. When they asked me what was, in a scale of 1 to 10, what was the pain was like, I was like, it's a 10. Probably even beyond the 10. And so, as much pain as I was in, they got me a bed, which I laid on, and then it took 3 hours before a doctor came to see me. Now, mind you, it was not that busy, right, in that section of the ER. But it took 3 hours before the doctor could see me. And I remember, I'm in a tremendous amount of pain. And this is what they like to do, right? So they will, if you're a TI, you go to the hospital because of a pain or something like that, they will have you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. much longer than somebody else who was not a TI. So anyway, the doctor came, explained to him what happened, and he was like, "Well, I'm gonna subscribe you a shot, which is an anti-inflammatory shot and a muscle relaxer." So he said, "I'll be back in half an hour to check on you." Now the nurse came, gave me the shot and the muscle relaxer. The doctor didn't come back until about an hour and a half later. Hour and a half later. So at that time, I'm like, okay, I gotta go use the bathroom. Went to use the bathroom and I could barely move. I mean, I was basically, it took me a while just to get to the bathroom and get back. And when I got back and I lay down, I was having a lot of pain with muscle spasm in my right leg. So the doctor finally came back. I told him, I said, listen, I try. You hear the sirens? So I told him, listen, I tried to go to the bathroom. It took me a while to get to the bathroom. I'm still in a lot of pain. The shot didn't help. Muscle relaxers didn't help at all. So I was talking to him. I said, listen, I think I tore something in my right buttocks. I don't know what happened. I didn't want to tell him that I think I was hit with directed energy weapon, because then they'd be like, okay, they're not going to take me seriously. So after hearing what I have to say, he said, well, I think you may have a sprain with micro tearing, right? Micro tearing of the muscles in the buttocks. And so he was like, well, I prescribe you more muscle relaxers, which they did. And he said, well, I'll come back and check on you. So I ended up, long story short, I ended up spending the entire night, which was a Sunday night, in the ER. Finally left there Monday morning, and I went straight to the kids' mom house because again, I pick up Ethan from school. And so, they gave me crutches because I couldn't put any pressure on my right leg, so I had to use crutches. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been using crutches. Today, it feels a little better. I'm able to put some pressure on it, but I can only walk around the house. I can't walk outside. Like if I have to go pick up Ethan from school, I have to use the crutches because I cannot walk that long because my leg will start paining, including my right buttocks. So anyway, so yesterday, which is very peculiar because this is the first time I've seen the cops do something like this. So yesterday I go to pick up Ethan, and I'm walking down Bedford Avenue, past church, and I noticed that there was a police van parked up in front of Ethan's school. So when they saw me, they started turning on their lights, right? The lights. Now, in front of the police van, oh, let me say this. So the van was parked in the opposite direction of traffic, right? So the side, it's a two-way street, but the side that Ethan's school on is going in one direction, and they were parked in the opposite direction on the same side, and they were parked in front of this van. So, when they saw me, they turned on their lights, and then this woman exit out from the van. So I thought maybe they had pulled her over, but they didn't. So she walked in, and she walked into the school that Ethan goes to because she went to pick up her kids or kids, whoever. But the particular thing is that when she got out of the van, and this was a Hispanic lady, so when she got out of the van, then the cops drove away, right? So I find that particular. So I said to myself, you know what? When I enter that school, I'll bet anything that that same lady, the same Hispanic lady, would be there waiting for me to enter the school to try to give me some kind of hand signals. And sure enough, as I entered the school, she was right there doing hand signals as I entered into the school to pick him up. So anyway, as I'm leaving the school, you know, again, they started with the homosexual agenda of these of males looking at my crotch, and I'm looking at them at their face, and I'm like, if you think, well, I usually target them back with the same thing they do to me, but I'm not gay, so I'm not looking at any grown man crotch, okay, or anybody's crotch, for that matter. So got in the house, and then the sirens, you know, so which is very very peculiar, and they've done other things to me too, which I don't want to go into because I don't want to make this story long or make this video long. I just want to do a short video, but constantly being harassed by the police with the noise campaign. 2 nights ago with the fire trucks, ambulances, all over the place, sirens all over the place, and I'm like, these people have nothing better to do. They waste taxpayers' money. Running these covert psychological operations on TIs, and it's kind of ridiculous. It's very ridiculous, and so they've also been using the kid's mom to target me. And we've been like fighting like crazy, and I just got to the point where I barely say anything to her now, and so it is what it is. When you're a TI, they're gonna get those close to you to target you, and you just gotta learn how to not let it affect you in a negative way, you know. And so I just do what I gotta do for my kids, and that's it. And the minute I step aside, police sirens or police presence. The past week or so, I've seen so many police. You'll think that there was a terrorist attack in the area that I'm in. Seriously, I mean, it is ridiculous, really, really ridiculous. And so, I mean, it's just so funny. As much I tell you, they don't care. You could be in pain, and they see I'm in pain. I'm using crutches. They don't give a shit. They don't give a damn. They still target you. They still psychologically harassing you. They're still using noise campaign. The police and the firemen and the paramedics. You're still targeted, right? So that just to give you an idea that no matter what condition or situation that you're in, they will continue to do this to you, and there seem to be no end to this. There really hasn't. And so you know I just have to. I haven't been doing my show on talk show because again I'm in a lot of pain. I'm finally able to sit down without having a lot of pain in my back, and so I said, you know what? Let me do this video right now. And also, I got a text from another TI who said that, hey, I think they are messing with your recordings on TalkShoe. And sure enough, I went to TalkShoe, and I went to my older recordings, and they would not play. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's go back. I'm gonna go back to like 2013, 2012. See when I press listen, nothing happens. The show does not play. It keeps spinning, saying buffering, and I know this is the perps that's doing this simply because they don't want people listening to my show, particularly my early shows, because they have information on there that you can no longer find on the internet. Okay, there are recordings that I've played on my show to record, uh, that you and a lot of my older shows, like I said, there are links and stuff like that. There are videos that I've played that you can no longer find on the internet because they've basically gotten rid of them in order to hide some of the things that they're doing and some of the things that they have done. And so, see, nothing happens. Now, if I go to my recent show and I go, all right, see,
Talk shoes.
that
Recorded
works.
live.
Hi, and welcome to Nigeria.
That works. That works.
For the
So,
for
um,
PIs or people who have been putting
it. I mean, again, they're trying to erase TI's recordings and websites that we've done years ago. Now, my show goes back to like 2008 or 9, I think, and so I've been doing this for almost 10 years. Wow. But yeah. So, you know, TIs can no longer listen to my older shows because either they're being erased or what have you. But this is what the perps are doing, and it's really really ridiculous. Okay, and so you know I still have my YouTube videos. I'm gonna have to check on YouTube to make sure that my older videos are still there, and people can still watch them. But you say, why would they do this, right? Well, it's because, like I said, my older shows have information on there with links to information that they don't want you to have. They don't want you to know. And you can't find a lot of the information now because they're being removed from the web. Okay? These people are very smart. Okay? But again, documentation is what we as targeted individuals have to do. It is something that we should be doing every single TI to keep documents of what's happening and to share it with other TIs so that they know that they're not alone. They're not the only one that's suffering from this covert psychological coercive persuasion program, which is meant to discredit the TI and to hide the fact that we're being illegally non-consensual experimented on. Okay, and a lot of TIs may not know this, but a lot of us are microchip, for the purpose of remote neural monitoring. And if you're a TI, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we gotta expose this. We cannot remain silent. And hopefully next Tuesday I'll be able to do a show. Um, I'll try my best. Uh, Maybe possibly tomorrow, which is Thursday. We'll see how I feel, and you know, we just gotta take it one day at a time. We gotta continue fighting. We cannot give up. Hold your head up. Know that this is being done to you by criminals within the security agencies and within law enforcement who have created a cult and a which is a destructive cult because their purpose is to destroy your life, your livelihood, your social, economic, psychological state of being. That is their purpose. Their purpose is not to help you. As they will have those around you believe. It is meant to silence you from this horrible atrocity that they're doing. Okay, non-consensual human experimentation, running a psyops, a psychological operation known as a coercive persuasion program to silence TIs, and they will use any means necessary to set you up, to in order to blackmail you into silence, in order to extort money from you, in the hopes that you're not going to say anything because whatever they feel they have on you. Just remember that you were set up, and don't ever feel threatened by these criminals, especially if you have the information and you realize what is being done to you. Okay? So, thank you for watching and listening. And this has been another episode of the Targeted Individual Program.